What's going on, golf addicts? DB here talking about three sleepers you do not want to miss for the Wells Fargo Championship 2022 at TPC Potomac at Avenel Farm. I'm going to give you three guys. They're all in the 7K range on DraftKings. They're all in the triple digit range in terms of outright winners, and they're all pretty good long shots for top 20s, and they're all hot. Okay. I like it. Let's go. Let's start with the first one. And this guy is a guy I said, I think this guy's going to win on the PGA Tour in the next 12 months. I just believe it's going to happen. He's a worldwide winner. He's won on the Corn Ferry Tour. He's won on the Asian Tour. He's won on the European Tour, now the DP World Tour. His name is David Lipsky. He's 7,500 on DraftKings. Lipsky comes in looking good. Now, he may not pop in all the models because you're missing some of the Zurich Classic. Maybe your stuff's not updated from the Mexico Open yet, but it should be. David Lipsky finished sixth in Mexico. Okay. He shot all four rounds in the 60s, including a 64 on Sunday. And guess what else he did? He led the field in strokes gained approach with 10 strokes gained approach. That's ridiculous. That's really freaking good. You do not see that every week on the PGA Tour. His iron play is obviously hot right now. Okay. The week before that, he played in the Zurich with Aaron Rye, where I think they finished top 5 or 7 or something like that. If you looked at the rounds 1 and 3 at the Zurich, where it was 4 ball, right, where they're all playing their own ball, you take the best score. He kind of carried the team in those rounds. I think you had 9 birdies and an eagle or something like that. Like, he's been playing solid. I really like David Lipsky right now. Let's take a look at him on Fantasy National, and I'll show you kind of what's popping for him. Taking a look at David Lipsky, you can see here what he's got going for him. He's not a short hitter by any means, but he's definitely not one of the longest in the field, which is okay here. Always gaining strokes on approach. Look at this 10 number. Like, that is just ridiculous. Okay. He's got upside. Seventh place at Corrales, sixth at Mexico, 14th at the Amex here. Rookie on the PGA Tour, coming off the Corn Ferry Tour full time. His long term and short term driving accuracy. It's going to be really important to play from the fairways here at TPC Potomac at Avenel Farm. And just look at his fairways gain numbers and good drives gain numbers on Fantasy National. Really, really solid. Very strong for him. So I mean, I like where this guy is shaping up in terms of fitting this golf course. Enough distance, enough pop in the bat, like I said, but I love the accuracy and I love how hot the irons are. I mean, that's going to be the most important thing for sure coming into these small greens. These are really small greens at Avenel Farm, and a lot of them you're hitting iron shots longer than 175. Let's actually look at his proximity numbers here, because wedge play is going to be important. You're going to have plenty of opportunities both in short wedge play range, but also in that 175 to 200 range. And look at this. Look at the green here in this long term and short term proximity 175 to 200. And then the wedge play here. Like, the guy's irons are just way too dialed for us to ignore David Lipsky. So I'm liking Lipsky. His best top 20 number right now is plus 410 on FanDuel, and he's 100 to 1 on DraftKings. That's the best outright number if you want to bet him to win outright. But I think Lipsky's going to come in. I don't think he's going to be like super scrub, because I do think some people are going to talk him up. I've been talking him up for a few weeks. I think he's going to be like that 6% range or so on DraftKings potentially. There's so many good names in the 7K. A lot of these guys are good pivots, but I truly believe David Lipsky can win on the PGA Tour. Now, last week's video, I gave you Cam Champ and Lonzo Griffin. Both did very well. Cam Champ had a chance to win at the end of, on Sunday, kind of coughed it up on the back nine. Lonzo had a great Sunday, I think, to round out finishing top 10 or top 15. We missed on Robert Strep, is what it is, okay? These are sleepers. There's a reason they're sleepers, okay? I got two more for you, but before I get to them, I want to tell you about our friends at Front Nine Coffee. They're a new coffee sponsor of the Tour Junkies, long-term sponsor. So it would really help us if you guys support them at front9coffee.com. That's FORNT, the number 9, coffee.com. And if you use promo code TJ10, you save 10% off your order there. It's a brand new company started in Augusta. They're doing all the roasting made to order coffee. When you order right now, your bean probably is green right now, okay? And when you order, that green, that brand new baby coffee bean, you know what I mean, is going to get roasted on the spot the next day when you order, and then they'll do a grind to your choice. They'll send you a whole bean if you want that. It's fresh artisan coffee from Central and South America, roasted in Greenville. It's great stuff. And they're a big supporter of the Tour Junkies podcast, and they're going to support the Sleepers video for every week. So it would really be helpful if you give them a visit, check out the coffee. They're big golf nerds. Obviously, the front nine is the name. So big time golf fans, big time coffee fans. So head over to front9coffee.com. Let's get to the next sleeper, working down into the 7K some more. 7,300 on DraftKings, 130 to 1 outright to win on DraftKings is the best number. And also plus, actually, no, he's plus 360 to finish top 20 on FanDuel. And that is Russell Knox. Now, Russell Knox is a guy that I tend to kind of have a soft spot for. I just do. Okay. I like that he's kind of a specialist, right? Like he does some things well, especially on shorter courses. He's a guy. He's not a bomber, but he also is not super short. He's not dinking and dunking it out there with like, what I don't know, Ryan Armour, okay? But he can move it. He can move it around. He can move it around in wind. He can play in difficult conditions, as you see here on Fantasy National. We're going to get some wind and we're going to get some weather at TPC Potomac this week. I think Russell Knox can handle that. I also like that, while he's a terrible putter, pretty much that's the thing that holds him back. You know, bent is one of his better surfaces. At least he's not so bad on bent grass, right? And bent grass can make bad putters better because the ball does what it looks like it's going to do. There's not a lot of grain in bent grass. It's going to break like it looks like it's going to break. It's going to be quick. You just have to get the ball started on your line. These greens run at like a 12 and a half on the stem. Just hit your line and watch the ball go in the hole. That's what we think Russell Knox can do on these bent grass greens. I like it. Bad putters can win here. Kyle Stanley, Francesco Molinari, not great putters by any means. He's also made 8. Let's look at his form. He's made 8 of 10 cuts so far in 2022, a 7th place finish at the Sony, a 6th place finish at the Players. I like that. And I want to look at a couple things here with Russell Knox. Let's go look at driving. Uh, we all know he's a pretty accurate driver of the golf ball, but just so we can see it here on Fantasy National. I mean, you can see he's not a short hitter. I mean, 111 mile an hour or club head speed, 167 ball speed is not terrible. But compared to the behemoths of the PGA Tour these days, it's kind of short. But look at the fairways gained and good drives gained numbers. Like very rarely is he not putting the ball in the fairway and attacking these small greens from the fairway is key, as I've already said. So that's one thing. But I want you to notice something else. This is key for him. Look at his long-term proximity, short-term proximity with his long irons. Like I said, you're going to have a high percentage of shots coming from 175 yards and out on this golf course. And look at this for his entire career, which he's had a long run on the PGA Tour. And recently, look at the proximity iron play from Russell Knox in that 175 to 200 yard range, and even the 200 plus, which for a guy who doesn't hit it super far is really, really good. Now, it's shocking that his 100 to 125 range is so bad, but he's good everywhere else, and I really like it. And look how he's hitting them. Look how he's hitting the irons coming into this week. I mean, he's killing it. So to me, the iron play for Russell Knox is very attractive. He is a PGA Tour winner. Okay, let's see. He won TPC River Highlands back in 2016, which is some have said is kind of a comp course to what we have here. So TPC River Highlands winner in 2016, plus 360 to top 20 on FanDuel, 130 to 1 on DraftKings right now outright. And I think that's too long, honestly. I think I would bet him at 100 to 1. But 7,300 on DraftKings. Russell Knox is a known player in the DFS streets. He's probably going to get a little love, but I doubt it that it comes up to 10%. I doubt that we see that. But I think he truly gives you win equity. I really believe that he does. All right, before I get to the last pick, give me a thumbs up on the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 5,000 subscribers. We've been grinding for years now on YouTube, trying to get subs. If you would even share the video, hit the share button, copy the link, put it out on your socials or send it to a buddy that likes golf betting. We'd appreciate it. Okay. We put out a lot of content for free. And actually, most of our content is free. 95% of our content is free outside of the Nut Hut. But that's just a great community. So if you could share it, that would really help us. It keeps it going, keeps food on the table in the Barnett house. I'll tell you that. All right, here we go. Last sleeper for me. And I think this guy is probably going to be the lowest owned of the three that I'm talking about. At 7,200, I would see him being maybe around, he was at 1% at the RBC Heritage when he finished third place. Now, people are going to take notice of that and they're going to come around, but he hasn't shown a lot of consistent form like we've seen out of like Russell Knox, for example, in 2022. But Cam Davis at 7,200, the long hitting, bombing Aussie that I love that hit me 150 to 1 outright last year at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Another golf course where you can club down a little bit off the tee. Um, I like that we saw Cam do what he did at the RBC Heritage. Let's take a look at Cam Davis on Fantasy National and see what's popping for our boy. So Cam Davis, definitely a longer hitter on tour. He's going to be clubbing down on a few holes here, maybe not all of them, especially with the softer conditions. We're going to see some rain this week. It's probably going to allow some of the longer hitters to hit, longer clubs because you're not going to have run out in these fairways getting into this dangerous rough. But if you see here, the only putting surface that he gained strokes on in his career is bent grass, and he's gaining a lot. So very comfortable on these bent grass surfaces, which is great. And then we see the third at the RBC Heritage here, where he gained strokes across the board, including a 46th at the Masters, which I think was his first Masters. So made the cut, finished 46th there. Um, but I love that he's posting some good strokes gain approach numbers in his last four events, including Masters. I went back and looked there on Data Golf. These last four events, all gaining strokes on approach, and you can see that like sometimes when he falls off, that's kind of where he loses it is on the approach play. Typically a really strong putter, a good scrambler for his career on the PGA Tour, which is important on this golf course as well. And he's definitely a longer hitter. So I'm excited to see that. Let's take a look at. Honestly, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not. But let's look at his proximity numbers here from some of these key buckets on Fantasy National. Yeah, so as you would suspect for a longer hitter, definitely gain strokes on the field typically from 175 to 200 and 200 plus, which we like to see. And I like that he's got this good wedge game here at 75 and 100. These two long par fives are going to see even the longest hitters hitting short wedges into those greens, as well as this little short drivable par four, which I would assume he's going to go for every day. But I do like to see that. So Cam Davis definitely popping for me, and you can catch him at plus 410 along with David Lipsky as a top 20 on FanDuel. That's the best number for him. And he's 100 to 1 on DraftKings outright. But I think those are your three possible sleepers here. I think Davis is definitely going to be the lowest owned. And maybe based on just some late consistency, recent consistency, should I say, maybe feels a little more risky than Knox and Lipsky. But I think Davis obviously has winning upside as well. I think all these guys have winning upside. They've all got it done at some level, at least Davis and Knox on the PGA Tour, Lipsky multiple times worldwide. So I think it can happen. And we got to be aggressive this week. I think with the weather, we're going to have a little more variance in terms of who can pop and who can separate themselves from the field. If it were firm and fast and dry, Tiger said in 2018 that when it's firm and fast, or I think it was Ricky that said this in 2018, when it's firm and fast, it really separates the men from the boys in terms of who's striping it really well and who's faking it. But when it gets softer, a lot of variance comes into play. So embrace the variance this week, even if it's not with these three guys. Embrace a little bit of that, and let's have a great week for the Wells Fargo Championship 2022. May your screens be green and bend over your bookie, and check out front9coffee.com. All right, I'll be back next week. See ya.